group? Busafi.
Yeah, she's the one. Zamzam Al Busafi.
Okay. Yes. You ask her what happened that day, why there is no file. She did not submit. Okay, you ask her later.
Okay, Mister.
Because I sent an email, she did not reply.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And also we tried to call her and no reply also.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not you, okay? Zamzam Busafi.
Yeah, Al Busafi, not me.
I thought there is only one Zamzam here. Sorry, Zamzam. I thought, it's you. Okay. So what is problem solving? And problems, by the way, are part of our life. So we have to solve problems every day. From the time that we're able to know about life, okay, until the end of our life, we'll be having problems. From the time we are aware about life until the end of our life, we will be having problems along the way until we stop living. So it is very important to talk about problem solving. So what is problem solving? Generally, people think of problem solving as providing solutions, and that's it. Provide solutions to a problem is problem solving. Yes, of course. We provide solutions when we solve problems. But what it is exactly is what we're going to talk about today. So problem solving means every time you engage in an action or thought pattern where you move from your current state toward a goal state. So when you're moving from your current state toward a goal state, and while doing that, you engage in an action or thought pattern, you are thinking, you are planning, then you are solving a problem. Okay? So every time you engage in an action or thought pattern or thinking or planning where you move from your current state to a goal state, you are solving a problem. For example, you got a new job. You just got a new job and you're trying to configure what is the best road to your new job. You are actually solving a problem. Your current state is you don't know. You don't know what is the best way to your new job. And your goal state is to know what is the best road to your new job. And while doing it, trying to discover, you might be having a practice, for example. Okay, you try to take the first road and try to take other roads and compare which one is best for you. Actually, we do that, even myself, because I used to live in Mawala, so I try to configure what is the best way to my new job. But in Oman, it's very simple because usually we use the main road and that's it, especially if you're working in Muscat, in Ruwi side. But how about if you are working in Gala industrial area, in the middle there? Okay, so you got a new job there and you're trying to configure what is the best road to this particular job. You are actually solving a problem. Another one is how do you decide who to marry? For others, this is a very simple problem. For others, this one is a very big problem. Deciding who to marry is not easy actually, right? And for others, it's already arranged by the parents. For example, if you are from India or maybe from China or Nepal and from other cultures where arranged marriage is very rampant, then it's not a problem because it's arranged already. I'm talking about in reality, if you are, you know, to choose which one to marry, then you are actually solving a problem. Your current state is you are single, and the goal state is to be married, to have a married life. That is your goal state. So along the way, trying to solve, for example, you are a woman and you are finding a husband. So every day, these actions or thought patterns that you do for you to get there, for you to get married, is solving your problem. It might take a very long time. It might take a very short period of time. It depends on how you are taking actions. Okay? So in some cases, solving a problem could take very, very long. In some cases, it's just for a very short period of time. How do you satisfy your growling stomach? That is also solving a problem. Okay, especially now that you are fasting, right? So towards iftar, your stomach will be growling, and to solve the problem, of course, you have to join your family during the iftar time to satisfy your growling stomach. So the current state is hungry, and the goal state is to be satisfied, yeah, or to be full. So I hope you understand what is the meaning of solving a problem. It is every time you engage in an action or thought pattern where you move from your current state toward a goal state. And you may not even realize it, but you are also an excellent problem solver. Few months ago, if you can, remember, you were still maybe in high school or maybe last year. It depends on when you started in Majan. You were solving a problem when you were finding a college where to register. Yeah, so you figured out how to join Majan College, and here you are now studying. So your current state that time was you were not studying in college, you were still in high school, or maybe let's say you were in foundation in other universities or colleges, because some students they join the college from other colleges also. And now you are here with us studying. So you solved your problem, which could be very, very important to you. So it may not feel very huge accomplishment compared to, say, coming up with a relativity theory or being able to travel to the moon, but you're able to solve a problem which is very, very important to you. For others, your problem might be small, but for you it's very, very big. It depends on how a person actually look at the problem. Who is that? Walid. What are you doing, Walid? So this is what I'm talking about. A problem might be very important to you. For others, it is nothing. For those who don't want to study or pursue their studies in college, this problem might not be very important for them. But for you, for us, especially nowadays, continuing your studies in college, master's and doctorate is very, very important. Okay? So there are two categories of problems. One is well-defined problems and the other one is ill-defined problems. When I say well-defined, it has a clear starting and ending point. You know exactly how to start and how to end the problem. For example, how to make it bright in a room which is currently dark. So the room is dark. How to make it bright? You can use a lighter, flashlight to make it bright, or of course you can use the switch. So you know exactly how to start and end this problem. Okay, so it's very, very well defined. And ill-defined problems have a more ambiguous. Ambiguous means not clear. Starting point and ending point. So an example of this is how to live a happy life. This problem is not a bad problem. When you say ill-defined, it does not mean that these problems are bad, but these problems are actually not clear. We are not clear how to start and end the problem. Some people, they try to live a happy life day by day, trying to be happy, and sometimes it becomes opposite. Because we human beings, we don't have the exact formula. There is no exact formula to solve that particular problem. That's the meaning of ill-defined. We don't have the exact technique how to deal with it. And as I said, sometimes you're going to end up experiencing the opposite. Or another example is how to become rich. Okay, this is also an example of ill-defined problems. Some people, they try to become rich, and some people also, they steal. Okay, just to become rich immediately. They want to have a shortcut, right? And they end up becoming the opposite. For some people, this might be well-defined problems. So it depends actually on how you view the problem, or it depends on your available resources. For example, Donald Trump. He has been rich from the beginning. So how to become rich for him is very, very well defined. Because from the beginning, his dad was so rich already, and he was rich from the beginning. So it depends actually. But for common people, okay, how to become rich is something which is ill-defined, especially for poor people or normal people. This question or this problem is ill-defined. They don't know exactly how to start and end this problem. It might be that they have to engage in business. But how about if you don't have enough money to start the business? Some people, they do bad things. Yeah, corruption, stealing, and all. And the opposite is they become poor because, you know, the authorities might catch them. Okay? Or some other ways to get there. So there is no exact formula how to become rich. Okay? But as I said, in some cases, ill-defined problems are well-defined for others. And in some cases also, well-defined problems are ill-defined problems for others because of how they view the problems and depending on their capacity. Okay? For a very, very young child, for example, you know, a child doesn't know how to make the room bright. Yes? So when we talk about common people, normal people, adult, this problem is well defined. Who can give me another example of well-defined problem where we know exactly how to start and how to end the problem? How to what? How to come to Majan University College from seed. Okay? This is somehow well-defined problem because we are very, very clear how to start and end a problem. Maybe taxi or use your own car, yes, or bus. Maybe you take the express road or the main road. So we know exactly how to start and end the problem. And some other problems. Yeah, we have so many. In the exam, I might be asking you to give 2 or 3 examples. So ill-defined problems are still possible to solve, but you may not know exactly what the outcome look like. Of course, because it is ambiguous. We are not clear how we are going to start and end. But still, you can solve these problems. Of course, you can try to become rich. You can try to become happy. Okay? Or another one is how to love someone. Is also something which is, ill-defined. For others, this could be well-defined because they know exactly the formula of how to love someone. But for, I think, common people, falling in love or being with somebody that you love is something which is unclear. And you don't know exactly what the outcome look like because we cannot buy love. Yes, it's difficult. And it's sad to note that some people think that they can buy love. Okay, so because we face a variety of problems day by day, from simple to complex, from simple to challenging or difficult, it's complex, our brain has several different ways of solving problems. Our brain is so adaptive. It adapts to change. So because of that, it has several different ways of solving problems because we have simple to complex. Some problems are very simple. Some problems are very, very difficult to deal with. So our brain is adjusting. It tries to adapt to change. And because of that, it has several different ways of solving problems. So now let's look at some methods of solving problems. And these are the most common methods used in the world. We have 3 methods of problem solving. This should not be confused with categories. Categories are the types of problems. For example, ill-defined and well-defined. While methods are like ways of solving these problems. Number 1 is trial and error method. That means we try, and if it does not work, error, we try again another one and keep on trying and trying. Algorithm, yeah, method. Algorithm means set by set or step by step procedure to solve a problem. And of course, heuristic approach. So what are these and what are the differences between these methods? So let me show you a video that will give example.
Several different ways of solving problems. Your brain has several different ways of solving problems. One method of solving problems is trial and error. This means that you just take random guesses until something finally works. For example, imagine you're trying to log into an email account you haven't accessed in a while. You know that the password is 8 numbers long, but you don't remember what it is. If you're using the trial and error method of problem solving, then you would just try any random combination of letters and numbers until something works. As you can probably tell, that approach would take forever. And with trial and error, you're not necessarily keeping track of what you've already done. So you could get lucky and hit on the right password early, or it could take a very, very long time. A more methodical approach would be to use the algorithm strategy. An algorithm is a logical, step-by-step procedure of trying solutions until you hit on the right one. So if we're still trying to get into our email account, we might start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If that doesn't work, we'll change one number at a time. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. This could still take a really long time, but you are guaranteed to find the right solution eventually. Usually, though, we don't have time to try every possible solution, so a more common method of solving problems is to use some sort of heuristic. A heuristic is a mental shortcut that allows us to find a solution more quickly than the other two methods we've talked about so far. For example, you probably made a password out of familiar number combinations, so you might try something that includes your birthday or something else that stands out in your mind. This drastically reduces the number of solutions we need to try because it eliminates any unlikely ones right off the bat. Heuristics don't guarantee a correct solution, but they do simplify complex problems and reduce the total number of solutions that we'll try in order to get to a more manageable number. Since heuristics are so common, let's talk about a few different ones that work for different types of problems. One type of heuristic is means-end analysis. This heuristic means that we analyze the main problem and break it down into smaller problems. Then we attack the biggest subproblem in order to reduce the most difference between our current state and the goal state. If you're planning a trip to another country, then the biggest problem might be the distance between you and that country. So your first step would be to book a plane ticket. And that creates another group of subproblems which you solve one at a time, usually starting with the biggest one. A second heuristic is working backwards. Now, with means-end analysis, we were trying to work from our current state toward our goal state. With working backwards, however, you start with your goal state and use it to suggest connections back to your current state. This strategy is commonly used in mathematical proofs. Another example of it is if you've ever done a maze and started at the end and worked your way backwards toward the beginning.
All right, so I hope that you learned something from this video. Did you learn something? Okay, then let me expound this one by one again. So it comes from the word try and error. That means if it's not working, you try again another one until you hit the right solution. So this is solving a problem by taking random guesses without tracking what you have done. So that means you just keep on trying. For example, 2 times x plus 45 is equal to 100. And you're trying to find the value of x. You just keep on putting some values until you get 100. And that is the answer. So for example, you put 10 here, you put 5, you put 6, but you are not tracking what you have done. You are not monitoring. Okay, so it could be so lengthy. It can be a very, very long method because we are not trying, or we are not, trying to monitor or track what we have already. So for example, here it will take time because we are not tracking. But for us who are experienced, we know already that the answer would be 5 because 45 plus 5 is 50. 50 times 2 is 100, right? For those who are experienced already, they have the know-how, they can immediately solve the problem by trial and error method. But how about if the problem is complicated? So this can be very lengthy. For example, it is like this. Okay. If you keep on trying and trying, it will be very lengthy, right? Because you are not also monitoring what you have tried. For example, you try one, you just forget about it. Try another one, 2, 10. So it can take forever, right? So this is an example of trial and error method. Another one is, for example, you forgot your 8-digit password. Okay, so you could try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not working. Try again another one. And then not working. Try again another one. Okay, so this could take forever. It's very, very lengthy. So let's try another method. The other method is algorithm method. When I say algorithm, this is step-by-step procedure. Logical step-by-step procedure of trying solutions until you hit the right one. For example, you forget the same password, 8-digit or 8 number. You could try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not working. So you try another one, but you have to record this one. Or this one, you are not going to try this again because already you have tried, it's not working. So maybe you try 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, it's not working. You try another one and so on. Okay? But you are recording it. You are monitoring. Those which you have tried and they are not working will not be tried again. Unlike here, you might be trying this one again, even if you have tried this already, because you don't care about what you have tried. You just keep on getting some possible solutions. So it's very, very lengthy. This one could be also very lengthy, but you are guaranteed that you're going to get the right solution because you are monitoring step by step. Yeah, you are monitoring all the processes, all the elements you have tried are recorded. So you will not be repeating again what you have tried already. And for you to try all the possible means. Right? Now, another example of this, aside from this 8-digit password, is adding numbers vertically. When you add numbers vertically, for example, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're adding, we are following a step-by-step procedure. You start from the right, going to the left. This will become 10, carry 1. This will become 8. This will become 6. And this will be 2. Step by step. Yeah? 6, 10, carry 1. So 5, 8. This is 6. And then we have 2. Bring it down. This is also algorithm method. Step-by-step procedure. Another one is baking a cake using a recipe or cookbook. Recipe is like step-by-step procedure on how to cook, yeah, or how to bake. Unless otherwise you want the cake to become chocolate later. You don't care. Usually those who are baking a cake, they follow algorithm method. Because if you are not following, it might become chocolate or something else, or you might burn the cake because you have to follow right temperature and all those things. Yeah, and correct ingredients if you want to have the best cake possible. So using a recipe is the step-by-step procedure. That is using algorithm method also, because step-by-step you are following. Okay, so is this clear to everyone? Another example of algorithm is all the applications in programming. Computers, IT things, all of these use algorithm method. Programs. Okay, for example, the ATM machine, before you can withdraw money, you have to press something. Okay, you have to insert your card, you have to put your PIN, you have to select the amount and withdraw money. So step by step already it is programmed inside the ATM by the programmers, by the IT executive of the company. So all these procedures just for you to withdraw money actually are applying the what we call as algorithm method, because the logical step-by-step procedure is already there embedded in the system. Yeah. So when you withdraw cash, you have to insert, put the pin, select the amount, and withdraw money. So step by step. You might not be noticing it, yeah, because your goal is just to get money. But the task involved inside using all these functions just for you to get the money uses algorithm method. So all aspects in computers, apps, programming, IT things, Internet of Things, this will never be what it is without algorithm method. We will not be using iPhone right now without this method. Now it's very easy to use our phone. Just click, click, and click. You are able to chat with someone, right? You are able to play. You're able to do many things in your phone. That's because of what? Algorithm method, which is programmed already. Heuristics method is mental shortcut. Using mental shortcut that will allow us to find solutions more quickly than trial and error and algorithm methods. For example, the same problem, 8-digit password, maybe we can use shortcut because usually we people, we use special numbers for password. It might be your birthday, April 24, 1992. Okay? It might be special dates that you have in your mind. Some people, they save special dates. Only these people can remember. Yeah, it might be your monthsary or anniversary, for example. Yeah, something like that. So use a shortcut to get the solution. And this is also applied in many aspects in life, especially in ill-defined problems. Ill-defined problems, we usually use this method. But of course, this method can be used also in well-defined problems. But what I mean is, we usually use this method in ill-defined problems. Okay, please take note that all of these methods can be combined. Like what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm applying this, and then after a few seconds, it seems that I cannot use it. I go to algorithm method immediately. For example, the problem is like this. Okay. Equals 5, for example. When you look at it, oh, I cannot apply trial and error method. So I'm going to apply the algorithm method step by step. So in some cases, you can combine these methods. Trial and error, and then it's not working, you proceed to the next, or maybe you go to the shortcut immediately. And this can be applied in all categories of problems. Okay. So as I said, for 8-digit password, we can apply the shortcut, or we can apply this in means end analysis. That means we start with the biggest problem, and then we are going to break this into smaller parts. And then you attack these parts. Okay, that is an example of means end analysis. You start with the biggest problem, you divide it into smaller parts, attack the parts until you solve the problem. So for example, you are in Oman and you want to travel to Thailand, for example. The biggest problem is the distance. Yeah, so you start booking a ticket. And then you solve another problem. You look at your cash, you ask permission from your husband or your family or wife. Okay, then you look at your insurance maybe, or maybe you can ask an agency. Yeah, but there are so many things to solve before you can travel. Especially now that we have COVID-19, it becomes more difficult. Okay, so for others, now traveling is something like ill-defined. We don't know exactly how to start and end this particular problem. Yeah. So you can use this aspect by breaking the problem into smaller parts. You start with the biggest, and then slowly you solve some other problems related to it until you're able to solve the problem. So here, until you're able to travel, you have to solve many things. Your ticket, your passport, maybe your passport is expired, so you have to renew the passport. And maybe you want to go with your wife and your wife is busy, so you have to wait for some time. Yeah. And some other reasons along the way, or some other problems connected to it. Another one is working backwards. Working backwards is also heuristic approach. That means this is the current state, for example, and this is the goal state. You start from the goal state to suggest connections to the current state. And this is very common in logic, geometry, mathematics, where we prove. For example, prove that not A okay. For example, we are going to prove that not A or B is equal to not A and not B. So actually we're trying to go back there. We are proving that these two are equal. Okay, so that is working backwards also. Another example is when you are doing a maze, for example. I don't know if you have seen before a maze. This example of maze. Yes, this one is simple one. Okay, some mazes are very complicated. Okay, in Sahawa Park, we have there a small maze where children can play. So for example, you are from here, from this point, and you reach that point. How to come back here is working backwards. Yeah, and usually you get lost. You don't know how to come back here because of the complexity of the maze. Sometimes also the walls are very tall or very high. So you'll be confused and some people get lost. They cannot come back. Okay. And some people also, long time ago, they die just because of this game. And that's why we have a movie which is called as Maze Runner. In this movie, people die. Yeah, because their maze is very complicated. Look at their maze. See, this is the entrance. It's surrounded by big walls, and these walls are moving also. I don't know if you watched the movie. It has a lot of parts actually. Okay, so look at the people. See, this is the entrance. And if you are inside, for example, it's so difficult to come back to this point. And that's why in this movie, many people are dying. So to configure how to return is an example of working backwards. You are suggesting connections from your goal state to your current state. So it's like the opposite. So working backwards. Okay, so let's talk about insight, then we'll have a break. So did you understand these methods? Do you have any question? Guys? Guys, did you understand? Are you still there? So are you still there? Okay. All right. So as I said, this method can be applied in any category of problem. Now let's have the insight. Insight is that aha moment when the solution just pops into your head. So, for example, you forget about something, and after 5 hours, you remember. You say, aha, that is like this. So, that is insight. When suddenly a solution just pops into your head. For example, you are, trying to remember the character of the movie. Titanic, for example. And you're trying to remember the main character. Okay, for example, you forget the name of this main character. So you just forget about it, and after maybe 1 hour, you remember. You say, aha, that is Leonardo DiCaprio. So that aha moment is what we call as an insight. Okay, but in some other aspects, insight is being used differently in business. Okay, but usually when you talk about solving problem, when you have an insight, a solution just pops into your head. And sometimes it is tricky also. It is hard to predict and harder to encourage, particularly when you are fixated on seeing a problem from the same ineffective perspective. That means you are stuck. This happens usually in examination. In exam, because you are so tense, you are so nervous and worried about the exam, you forget something. Before the exam, you know exactly how to answer Q2. And during the exam, because you're so stressed out, you forgot everything related to this question and you're not able to answer. After the exam, you remember. Say, aha, that is an insight. Okay, so insight happened after the exam. So sometimes we are not able to remember, we are fixated. That means we get stuck. And as I said, it happens usually when we are so stressed out. So we have this mental block. And we just forget about it. And after a while, we remember, we get the insight. And sometimes it will take days, years, hours, months. Sometimes it will not happen also. In some cases, we forget something and we are not able to remember this particular thing. Yeah, so we just forget about it. The other one is what we called as eureka, something bigger. This is a cry of joy or satisfaction when one finds or discovers something. This is usually felt by scientists, doctors, mathematicians. Okay, they always have this feeling. Even when I was studying BS mathematics, because usually the problems are difficult. And sometimes one problem, it takes 2 days to solve. So when you discover the solution, you scream for joy or satisfaction. You're so happy. Sometimes you jump, yeah? Because you discover something. So this one is something bigger than insight, because it's more on discovery. For example, you are a treasure hunter. Okay, you are searching for diamond. There is a mountain here and diamond is there. So you keep on digging and digging, digging and digging until you found a diamond. So when you found a diamond, you cry because of happiness, or you scream because you discover something which is very special to you. Okay, so eureka. is that feeling, cry of joy or satisfaction. But usually this is more on the discovery and finding something which is very, very important and sometimes difficult. Okay, so the feeling is what we call as eureka. So if you are stuck, for example, on a problem, you cannot kill yourself, right? If you forget the name of the actor, you cannot kill yourself. What you're going to do is just let it sit in your mind while you are not really thinking about it. That means forget about it. Maybe you're going to remember later. We call that as incubate. We just incubate. That means you just forget about it. Let it just sit in your mind while you are not really thinking about it. And maybe you're going to remember later. So insight comes after a period of incubation. Sometimes this will be very short, seconds, sometimes hours, sometimes very, very long. Yeah? So this is what I'm talking about. And sometimes, as I said, it is forever. You don't remember at all. Okay, so do you have any question? We will have the problem solving in everyday life. So we have 6 steps. But before that, let me say that people make decisions every day to solve problems that affect their lives. Some problems are important to us, some problems are not important. And that's why we make bad or good decisions. So this is the problem. Usually we people, we focus on the problems that affect our lives only. And we don't care about others. For example, COVID-19. In the beginning, November 2019 it started. That's why it is called COVID-19. And people usually did not care about this from the beginning. They were even, making fun of China at that time because they thought that the problem is not affecting them. And China is able to respond immediately because they have all the mechanisms. They have robotics, they have resources, they have technology. They're able to immediately control the situation. But it has spread all around the world. It becomes global pandemic. We thought during that time that is going to affect only China, and people were just laughing that time. Yeah, because they thought it's not affecting their lives. Now, it is a global pandemic. It is affecting all of us. Even we cannot travel now. And now we have lockdowns and everything because we did not care about this problem before because we think it's not affecting our lives. So I think we have to be very careful when dealing with problems and others' problems because others' problems might be our problems. Yes, like this COVID-19. So before we're going to start the steps, let's have a break for a few minutes. We'll come back at 3:53 or 3:55. Okay. All right. See you. Hello, can we continue now? Guys, can we continue? Hello,
Yes,
can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, let's now have the 6 general steps of problem solving. So the first one is identify the problem. Of course, for any problem, you have to know what is the problem. Only then you can solve the problem. What is the specific problem? This means you should determine what it is that you want to change. And you have to define the goal that you want to achieve. What are you trying to achieve? Because in every problem, every person has a different goal. For example, the problem or the question is what to do during summer, right? So everyone has a different goal during summer. It could be that you're going to take driving lessons during summer. Maybe you want to travel during summer or just sleep the whole summer. It depends on you. So everyone has a different goal per problem. Determine the inputs and the outputs. And if you don't know what the problem is, you cannot solve the problem. So you have to know what exactly the problem is. Only then you will be successful. And of course, understand the problem. Yeah, so these are the first 2 steps. We have to identify and understand the problem. You must understand what is involved in the problem before you can continue finding the solution. And you must know or understand the knowledge base of the person or machine for whom you are solving the problem. Yes, because for example, you are trying to give the person, okay, a machine or a car, trying to solve the transportation problem of that person. And that person doesn't know how to drive the car. So you are not actually solving the problem. So knowledge base of the person for whom you are solving the problem is important. Yeah? Usually, we try to solve the problem immediately without understanding the problem. For example, your brother, this is your brother, this is his work here. He's telling you that he doesn't have any car to go to his work. And immediately you give him a car as the solution to the problem. And you realize later that he has no license. So you are not actually solving the problem. The first problem is driving license. Then we can solve the problem, right? So you have to understand what is the real problem, because usually we become so excited and then we solve immediately the problem. And you must know your own knowledge base. For example, if the problem is accounting, you must know about accounting. If the problem is about pure mathematics, you must know something about pure mathematics. Yes, it's all about your own knowledge base. You are the one solving the problem for another person, or the knowledge base of that person for whom you are solving the problem. And you cannot automatically get the information. You have to search using internet, or maybe you can talk to people, talk to friends, family members, neighbors. Yeah, maybe they can help you understand the problem. Use the internet. Okay, so that is the second step. The third one is identify alternative ways to solve the problem. These are the options. So you can list as many options possible. In the exam, I need at least 4 or 5. But in reality, you can have 20 options or 100 options, depending on how big the problem is. So generate as many potential solutions as possible. List the features for each possible solution. Or you might want to talk to other people. Maybe they can give you some suggestions. Okay? Or maybe some solutions to the problems. So it's very, very important to always ask people, or as I said, you can do your own research. And it should be acceptable one. Okay, for example, what to do during summer. And you're going to mention travel to the moon. It's not possible, right? This is not acceptable. It's not even possible to travel to India now. How about traveling to the moon? Yes, so something acceptable as part of your alternative ways. Okay, I hope this is very clear to everyone. Something which is achievable within the required time frame. And after writing the options or alternative ways, is the time now to select the best way. Now you will have the choice. Options are alternative ways. Choice is that specific option that you are selecting. Okay, that's the difference between options and choice. So choice is coming from the options. All right. So in this step, you need to identify and evaluate the pros and the cons. When I say pros, this is positive, cons, negative. So these are the advantages, these are the disadvantages. So you have to weigh things. Based on the list you have given here, you have to see which one is, advantageous, which one is disadvantageous. Pros and the cons. And you need to establish your criteria. So later we're going to have an example how to have this particular step. So you need to have criteria. These are the reasons. The reasons why, or the rationale why you are selecting that particular alternative. So in your exam, you have to mention these reasons. Why you select A, why B, why C, why X. Okay? You have to mention the criteria. And this is the do stage. Step number 5. So step 1 is identify the problem, understand the problem. Step 2, number 3 is listing alternative ways. Number 4 is selecting the best option. Number 5 is list instructions to solve the problem. Okay, so do stage. So you have step by step. Okay, so what are the things you're going to do to solve the problem? Step by step instructions and execute. Okay, so we will have example later how to do this by taking one problem. So number 6 is the last one, evaluate. So evaluate is the checking. So even the simplest problem, for example, this, we apply 6 steps of problem solving. First, we understand the problem. The problem is finding X, so we have to identify and understand. So identify, solve for X. This is the problem. Find the value of X. Understand, we look at, oh, this is with bracket. Maybe we search in the internet how to solve this problem. Okay? Maybe we ask friends if you don't know. Ask your teacher if you don't know. That is to understand the problem. Okay? You search information to understand the problem. Or look at the problem itself and try to see What is this all about? So assuming that this is our problem, 2 times x plus 45 equals 100, we already understood. So now let's find some ways. Or maybe we can apply trial and error method. We put some values here and see if it gives us 100. Or maybe we use the algorithm step by step. 2 times x. Okay. So it will be 2x plus this will be 90 equals 100. So 2x equals, then we transfer this to the other side. Okay. 100 minus 90. So 2x equals 100 minus 90, 10. Then we divide by 2. X is equal to 5. And then the last is evaluating. So we check. Evaluation is checking. So we have 2 times 5 plus 45. 2 times 50. So 100 equals 100. So that is the solution. For some problems, especially in mathematics, this is optional. But in your exam, you have to show this step because this is exam. So this means to check the result, whether it is correct or not, and see whether it satisfies the needs of the persons with the problem. As I said, you have to check whether it is fitting or not. I gave you one example a while ago. You bought a car for your brother and it's not fitting because he doesn't know how to use the car maybe, or maybe he has no license. And if police catches him, so you are making another problem. You are not solving the problem actually. So you have to evaluate, test the solution. So these are some of the questions you have to answer. Are the results accurate? Does the solution solve the original problem? Maybe you are adding the problem. Some people, they try to solve the problem and instead they are adding the problem. Does it satisfy the needs of the user? Okay. For example, farmers. Okay, you give them a big pipe. Okay. For them to irrigate their farms. But the problem is they don't have the machine or the proper well to get the water. So you are not satisfying the needs of the user. You give them the pipe and it's useless. So the main problem is the source of the water. Then later you can give them pipes, big pipes connected to their farms, right? So these are realities. And this also happens. Some people, they are very excited to solve the problems. And in fact, they are not solving the original problem. And they are not satisfying the needs. Is it acceptable to the user? Yeah? Maybe the user does not know how to use what you are giving them, or him or her. Okay, so let's have an example. Because in your exam, I will give you an example of a problem. Then you solve the problem using 6 steps. So how to travel to Saudi Arabia by land is our problem. Not by plane. Yeah. Not by ship, not by boat, by land. So first is identify the problem. What is the problem? This is the problem. And goal. To have a safe and pleasurable travel or trip. For others, it might be visit family members. That is your goal. For others, it's only pleasure. Or maybe to spend your honeymoon in Saudi Arabia. And some other reasons. So your goal is specific. So in your exam, you have to assume that you are the one solving the problem. And based on that, you create your own goal. You just imagine that you are the one solving the problem. So what is your goal? Why you want to go to Saudi by land? Maybe you are going to have this Umrah, right? For religious reasons, okay? Or you say religious purposes because it is the center of Islam. Okay, so now it is stuck. What's happening? Guys, can you hear me? Okay, because my slides got stuck. I don't know what happened. Not close. So what happened? I don't know. Okay. Number 2 is understand the problem. So this is to Saudi by land. So searching for buses or cars available or other means, because long time ago they use camels, they use horses, or some people go by walking. Takes time, sometimes months, from Oman to Saudi, for example. It happens before, right? So knowing the budget, required materials or items, date, persons to be with. So this is how to understand the problem, or maybe search from the internet or ask friends or family members, those people who have experience already. So this is to understand your problem. Okay, we are searching for buses or cars because this is traveling by land. And of course, we have to know our budget and required items or materials. What do you need? The date and people to be with. Maybe you want to travel with your family or alone. This is to understand the problem. Okay? I hope this is clear to everyone. Then number 3 is identify alternatives. Travel with friends or family, travel alone, travel with private car or vehicle, or this is public, using public utility vehicle or PUV. This is taxi. When I say PUV, these are taxis, minibus, bus. Mawasalat is example of PUV. Okay? And even rented cars can belong to this one. Okay? This is public utility vehicle. Private is your own car. Okay? So there are many ways to travel by land. And if there is train, then yes, that is also part of PUV, public utility vehicle, train or metro, where we have to pay. Yes. So there are many ways. Even in my country, we have some other ways using three-wheeled motorcycles. What's happening to our slides today? Gibson. See, I lost it. Okay. Because in my place, we have also three-wheeled motorcycles in Thailand. This is very famous in Indonesia also. We have like this. Okay, and some people, they use this. Okay, three-wheeled motorcycles. And even this one. Okay, motorcycles. Is very common in our area because the speed there is less, like 60 to 100. In Oman, it's very dangerous. It's not applicable because of the driving speed in Oman, right? So it's not that applicable, and it's very hot in Middle East because it's open. So that is also applicable by land, right? So these are the alternatives. As I said, you can continue writing or giving alternatives, but in the exam I need at least 4 or 5, but in reality you can have 20, you can have 100 alternatives depending on your problem. But since this is a time framed exam, try to give me 4 or 5. Then number 4 is selecting the best way to solve the problem. So this is where you are going to put the reasons why you are selecting, for example, A, B, C, or D, or combination. So the criteria is you want to be alone, you want to use your own car, you want to travel at the weekend, so you're going to select B and C. Travel alone, private car. Okay? So I hope this is very clear to you. Now in your case, for example, you say, I want to travel with family or friends. Okay, and using a rented car, for example. So maybe you're going to choose A and D. Yeah, or you want to choose A and B, depending on your reasons here or criteria. Okay, so you have to mention what are the reasons why you are selecting that particular alternative. Okay. Number 5 is preparing a list of steps, the instructions. This is the do stage. So talk to the family, step 1, about the trip and ask proper permission. This is very important to avoid fighting later on and some other problems and misunderstandings. Yeah, service and clean the car because you're going to use your own car. Insurance prior to travel. This is depending on the solution that you have selected. Prepare these items, passport, cash, cards, clothes or luggage, etc. These are the materials you need, and move, you travel. For others, it might be so detailed, so you can have more instructions, okay, depending on the problem. All right? So some people, they are very detailed, some people, they are just summarizing the points. So this is the set of instructions for you to solve the problem. and evaluating the solution, the last step. These are some of the questions you have to answer. Am I having fun, or maybe it is the opposite? Yeah, some people, they expected something and it is the opposite. They had some problems along the way. Or how about expenses? Was it expensive? Are you able to manage all your expenses? Did you avoid any unnecessary cost? Did you achieve your goal or target? These are details which you have to explain. Okay? To evaluate the solution. Because usually these are, very, very important things for you to reflect and go back to your solutions, whether it is applicable or not. So if you feel that you were not able to achieve your goal, then next time you have to do some changes because you're not able to achieve. Now let's look at another problem. So one more problem is the problem of Abir enrolling or registering in a university, assuming that she graduated from high school. Okay, she is in high school, she graduated. Now she wants to register and choose department. It could be business department, maybe IT or engineering department, right? Or maybe medicine. So let's try to solve this problem. So in your exam, you can use this method using a table, this technique, where you have to write all the steps in the first column and write all the outcomes or details in the second column. So this one is applicable. You can apply, or you can use this method which I did here. Step 1, we write the name of the step and then details. Okay, like this. It's up to you. Or table. The best way to do it is using a table. Which one do you like? Do you like to use the table or the first style? Okay. So if you are using a table, you do like this. First is identify the problem. Problem of Abir is to find a university and department. And we have to identify, name the university and department or section in that department. So to understand the problem, we have to search for universities available. Like what you did when you were still in secondary and you're trying to find a university. Now you are in Majan College. You are able to solve the problem. For others, they just follow their family members. It might be their brothers and sisters. For example, your brother has been here in Majan, so you just follow him. You don't need to search for other universities. But this one, assuming that we have to decide where to study for Abir. So search for universities available and know the grades, very important. Why? Because maybe it's not fitting. For example, the grades in mathematics are very low. So maybe she has to avoid engineering because engineering has a lot of mathematics. Maybe she likes IT or accounting. So hobbies means likes and dislikes, specialties, the special skills, and gender. Why we're talking about gender? Because some courses are gender specific. Some courses are only for men. For example, to become a seaman, okay, usually they take only boys, only male applicants. So gender sometimes should be considered. Even police officers, before it used to be males only, and now we have also some females. So what I mean is we consider gender also because some courses are not fitting for females. Now, possible options, we have to assume only here. Assuming that we have three options. Local university, this is the government. Okay, so just nearby, for example, in Muscat, so it's very fast. But the problem is did not have desired section. So that means the department she's looking for is not there. She might be looking for engineering and it has no engineering there. So example of this is SQU, Higher College of Technology in Oman, local university, and there is monthly allowance. SQU usually gives 80 and I think it becomes 120. I don't know what exactly is the amount now. That is the monthly reward or allowance. So that is the first option. Second one is to go abroad. This is outside the country. Of course, you have to consider the trip expenses. This is for maybe yearly or every semester. And see here have desired section. That means the department that she likes is there. Free enrollment, maybe she got the scholarship, and monthly allowance is there also. Or the last one is the private university like Majan University College. Very expensive school I prefer. Enrollment is not free. Okay, now the reasons are here. She wants to be in high rank university and there should be desired section and not expensive. So solution is number 2, should be free. Because number 2 is there is desired section, free enrollment, and there is monthly allowance also. So as I said, it depends on your criteria, the solution. It might be that you want to say to be with family during studies and friends. Okay, during studies. Number 2, okay, you can pay, no problem. Okay, so you can pay, or you say I can pay any amount, so no problem. Or maybe you have a scholarship from the ministry. Okay, and you want to be with your family during your studies, so you're going to select the third one. Okay, or maybe you're going to select the first one. So as I said, the solution will be depending on your criteria. What are the reasons you are giving? So in your exam, you have to assume that that is what you have. Okay, so please mention all the reasons and then which one you choose from here. But I will not be giving this problem, of course. You will have a different problem. And the do stage, of course, send application. In Majan, for example, you have to come here and then process your papers or maybe apply online. Okay, or maybe you go to that university in UK, for example, and then apply, then wait for the reply, approval. Once it is approved, you prepare your things, go to university, attend the first day. So this is the instructions of how to solve the do stage. Now, assuming after one semester or after 1 year, you felt lonely, grades were low, so change the solution. You have to evaluate. Maybe you have so many friends or you have a lot of disturbances and your grades became low. And maybe you felt lonely. So you have to change something along the way. Yeah? You have to reflect on what you did and see how you can improve. Maybe you're going to avoid your friends. Yeah, or maybe you're going to minimize going outside and concentrate on your studies. So you can add more details here when you evaluate. You have to reflect. So in your test, please try to follow this. So we solve problems daily at home and at work. Usually, the better decisions you make, for example, at work, the more valuable you become. So usually, those who are good at making decisions, they become managers, CEO, executives. Okay? Because they are good at making decisions. So in each case, 6 steps of problem can be applied. So 6 steps of problem solving can be applied in any problem. But we are going to summarize it later in the creative problem solving, because we have also creative problem solving. But in the exam, I need all the 6 steps and all the details. And sometimes you might not even know that you are applying the steps. Okay? Because sometimes you solve the problem very, very fast. Like what happened to me last time. My phone was not working. My iPhone was not working. It was not charging. So it is a problem. So I tried to understand the problem. I was roaming around my flat. Okay, I was checking the wires. I was checking my charger. So I tried some options. I tried my charger in my flat. Okay, I tried the charger in my car. I went to my car. I went to Lulu because this is not working. This is not working also. I mean, I tried the charger inside my room. It's not working. Still, my phone is not turning on for several hours already. I tried the charger in my car. Still is not working. So I went to Lulu. Oman phone. Still, the phone is not turning on, no matter what. So we sent the phone to the service center. And I bought a new phone temporarily, Huawei, while waiting for the phone. So I did not even use the steps. I did not know that I was using it. But automatically it is there. You are using it, but you did not know that you are using it already. Because you are just solving the problems quickly without thinking about this step-by-step procedure here. Okay, so in life it's very, very common. Try to apply these and your life will become easier. So we will now proceed to the creative problem solving. We are done with the first. We will now have the creative problem solving. Okay, so try to solve this homework. What's happening to our slides today? All very slow. Everything is stuck. Cannot close it. Who is waiting in the lobby? Guys, you have to use Majan email ID. Zamzam, you are not using the Majan credentials.
Most people do with it, they watch Judge Barbara Salesh or Dr. Phil all the
Okay. Try to solve this homework. You apply 6 steps of problem solving using these problems, okay? For example, how to improve English language. Second one is how to improve Oman tourism. Okay, so apply 6 steps and write all the details. Because in the exam, I might be asking you like this. I might be asking how to improve mathematical skills, how to improve Oman tourism. Okay, so this is your homework. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, we will now have the creative problem solving, or we call this as CPS. So before we go deeper, before we talk about creativity and innovation, we will have first a video. So just to motivate you for this particular topic, because this one is very, very important. Try to have a look and watch the video and see the message. The message is all about creativity and innovation. Okay. What's happening to the slides today? Oh my God, I don't know what's happening to these slides, guys. I have to keep on downloading it. I don't know what's happening. We open it from here. my God, it's still opening. Okay, can you hear me, guys? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, mister, we can hear you.
I don't know what's happening to the slides today. my God. Sometimes this technology is playing with us, you know. Okay. So let's now have the CPS, creativity and problem solving skills. Okay, so I want you to look at this video. This video is all about creativity and innovation. All right, so I hope that you get something from the video. So this video is about 3M company. It's a big company and they create products from A to Z actually. Let me see if I can write something here. Okay. So they are more into powerful ideas and convert these ideas into products and services. So 3M has so many products from A to Z. They're into airline industry, real estate, medicine, and some other products that you see in the world. That's why in the video they're saying that they are everywhere because they create products for all aspects of human life. So they mobilize creativity and innovation, and they use the power of imagination. According to Albert Einstein, logic can take you from A to B, but imagination can take you anywhere. Yeah, because in imagination, we can imagine to be anything. You can imagine to be a king, a queen, or a very rich person in your imagination. While knowledge is just fixed and you can just develop. So according to him also, imagination is more powerful than knowledge, right? Because in imagination, we can be anything. So I think this is the main thing being applied by 3M company. That's why they have all products from A to Z to develop human life, human aspects. They use powerful ideas to make products and services. So this is what we're going to talk about today, creativity and innovation. But how do we manage change, creativity and innovation? This is a very important question that we aim to answer in this particular topic. The importance of change, creativity and innovation. So change, creativity and innovation are essential for survival and growth. We have to change. We have to create and innovate. Innovation is more on implementing ideas to create products and services. Creativity is more on useful and new ideas. Okay, so we're going to define all of these concepts later on. So these are essential for survival and growth. Majan College, we changed immediately when there was a problem for us to survive. From face to face, we changed to online platform. This is what? For us to survive, for us to grow during COVID-19. If we did not change, we could have shut down already the whole college, right? So change is very, very important. Processes of change, creativity and innovation overlap. They have common elements when I say overlap. And they interconnect. They are interrelated, interconnected. For example, when we create, we change something. When we innovate, we have to create. They are related, interconnected, and most of the time they overlap. They happen together when I say overlap. Okay? We change, we create, and innovate all together. And they are connected. So when you talk about mobilizing creativity and innovation, we remember these important figures in reality. And also we should include the owner of the Amazon, the founder and CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, #1 richest person in the world, and also Bill Gates, the owner of Microsoft. Yeah, so these are important people and many, many people. This is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and owner of Facebook, Instagram, yeah, and WhatsApp also. Steve Jobs, he died already. He used to be the founder and CEO of Apple. And Schumpeter, the economist. He is a great economist, actually. So creativity and innovation are essential for success in dynamic global competitive environment. So the world becomes competitive day by day. So we have to mobilize creativity and innovation so we can compete. And of course, is potential for sustainable competitive advantage. When I say competitive advantage, it is a trait or characteristics which set you apart from the rest of the organization or people. Okay, so it's something which sets you apart from the rest of the people or organization. It gives you competitive advantage. This is unique quality, unique traits, setting you apart from the rest of the organization. For example, this is salesman A, and here we have salesman B. Let's talk about simple, example. Now, for example, this one is with pleasing personality. And this one is just average. Okay, so usually customers will be buying from him. Yeah, because he's more handsome than salesman B. So that is his competitive advantage over the competitor. Or even if he is having the pleasing personality, and here this one has the convincing power or good communication skills. So he might outrun the first salesman because of that competitive advantage, good communication and convincing power. So he can easily convince customers to buy the items. So we call that as competitive advantage. These are the traits or characteristics higher than the competitor. Okay, so it gives you an edge. So actually, creativity and innovation results in sustainable competitive advantage. And essential for adding value, doing more with less. So even with less staff, for example, you can do more because of creativity and innovation. You're able to make things fast. Okay, you're able to automate processes. So you do more with less. And gales of creative destruction. It disrupts and disturbs the market. For example, iPhone. We have the latest iPhone.
Teacher,
Yeah.
the PowerPoint is stuck. There is nothing on the screen. I think it is stuck the PowerPoint.
Okay. No one was telling me.
I don't know.
But the video, did you see the video?
No video, teacher.
No, mister, we didn't see.
So why no one is telling? This is the problem, no one is telling.
Now it is open. Now it is on.
Okay, so I was talking about this. So I want you to watch this video again later. Okay, this is the video. It is on the move page. Please play this video again, okay? So I was talking about this. Okay, so we are now on this part. So complex problems. So creativity and innovation solve complex problems and gives us opportunities. And unprecedented problems, of course, and opportunities, paradigm shift. It creates big change. And whenever we talk about creativity and innovation, we talk about implications of technology, mobiles, apps, applications. We remember long time ago, we don't have the apps. Nokia used only buttons. Now, because of creativity and innovation, we have the touch screen. We can easily just touch and browse anything. So we have big data, analytics, Internet of Things. Yeah, Internet controls the world. Because of creativity and innovation, we have all these developments in technology because of ideas of people. Okay? So what is change? Change is a movement over time from a current position, P1, to a future position, P2. So over time could be seconds, could be minutes, hours, could be days, months, years, or decades. Yeah, change can happen, in a very quick span of time, or maybe for a long period of time. You are moving from your current position to your future position. When we talk about company change, organizational change, it is the movement over time from an ongoing present to emerging and uncertain future. Companies, when they change, they are uncertain. They are not sure what's going to happen. For example, Majan College, we changed from face-to-face to online. We were uncertain. Sometimes it is planned and managed, and the intention is to achieve the objectives. Sometimes it is unplanned and unforeseen, like COVID-19. Because of COVID-19, we changed immediately. We trained the staff, last year, so we can go with the flow, go with the trend. So that was unplanned. We did not plan to do it. And it is unforeseen. COVID-19 was indeed unforeseen that time. It immediately happened and we have to respond. So we changed from face-to-face to online settings. Otherwise, we could not have managed to stay afloat. So change is uncertain. And sometimes it is planned, sometimes it is not planned. So creativity originally seen as eureka type moments, those talk about discovery and finding something, or art. Originally, it was just about art and when you discover something and find something useful. But now, it is recognized as something that can be developed and nurtured in the workplace. Okay, so something that we can develop and improve at work. It stimulates thinking about old problems, develop new opportunities. It challenges the convention, the old ways of doing things. It opens up different viewpoints and enables new patterns and links to emerge, creates opportunities for business initiatives. So nowadays, creativity is seen as something that can be developed and nurtured in the workplace, something that will allow us to think and develop opportunities and, of course, see different viewpoints, patterns, opportunities for businesses. So creativity is the process through which new and useful ideas are generated or created. Okay, so something should be new or novel, useful, appropriate. Okay, so for this reason, it is very hard to pin down. So if you are asked to define what is creativity, it is a process through which new, novel means something we haven't seen before. Yeah, novel, appropriate, useful. So it should be something new and useful also. That is creativity. So novelty, originality, these are the keywords. Original, novel, useful or appropriate. While innovation is the implementation or exploitation of creative ideas. So creativity is more on ideas. Innovation is we implement the ideas to create products and services. Okay? Making money out of creative ideas, that is innovation. Of course, when we have products and services, we can sell this, then we can get money. Adoption of ideas from elsewhere, because ideas can come from anywhere, from people, from different places. So according to Amabil et al means and colleagues or and others, 1996, creativity is the seed of innovation. Look at this seedling here. This will not be there without the seedling, the seed. So seed is compared to creativity. So without the seed, there will be no stem and leaves, right? It will not grow. It will not grow. So creativity is this, is being compared to seed, and this is the innovation part, the leaves and the stem. Or creativity is like the fuel, and this is the innovation. Without fuel, your engine will not work. So without creative ideas to feed the innovation pipeline, so they may be promoted and developed, innovation is an engine without any fuel. What is going to happen if your car, for example, or the engine has no fuel? It's not going to work, right? So this means that we don't have innovation without powerful ideas. So we are just using these examples for you to understand what is the importance of creativity for us to produce products and services. So innovation is the implementation of newly generated ideas or translation to produce processes, products, and services, according to Andriopoulos. We translate the ideas, we use the ideas, we implement ideas to create products, services, and processes. Otherwise, it will just be ideas forever. There is no innovation. So when you have beautiful ideas, useful ideas, new ideas, you try to implement. Use these ideas to create something for humanity. So if you're asked to define and discuss what is individual creativity and innovation and draw a diagram, this is the answer. Individual creativity is the ability of an individual to generate new and useful ideas, while innovation is the implementation of these newly generated ideas. Creativity is the input, the ideas generated, while innovation is the output. The output are the products, services, processes. However, innovation is not always dependent on creativity, as it can also emerge from other provisions, such as transfer of technology. Yeah, in some cases, innovation is automatic because of the transfer of skills. Yeah, that means they just train the people and then they are asked to produce products, or they use some machines to produce products. They automate the processes. Yeah, for example, in China, they just train these people. Some experts come and then train the people and let them do the work, produce products. Yeah, and they're producing many items. So this is the diagram. These dots and circles here symbolize ideas. Okay, creativity is more on ideas, then leading to innovation. So with ideas, with creativity, we can have innovation. So this is the interactive link between creativity and innovation. That means without ideas in general, without these ideas, we will not have products, services, and processes. It all starts from ideas, new ideas and useful ideas. Then we can create something. So I hope you understand now the link between creativity and innovation. And what is creativity and what is innovation? Creativity is more on the ideas, new and useful. Innovation is we implement the ideas to create something new. It is the output. Yeah, that's innovation. So usually we use ideas for innovation, for telephone, steam engine. These are examples. Internet. Without innovation, without powerful ideas, we could not have internet nowadays. And I will not be teaching here now using this online platform. It's all because of what? Internet. And that's the product of innovation. Social networking, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, okay, WhatsApp, and all the things. iPhone. These are just examples. And many, many more. That's because of what? Because of ideas and because of implementing these ideas. Military reasons. Now they have advanced weapons. Yeah, we have rockets, advanced weapons, and some other materials they are using for military reasons, for war also. So they're using it negatively also. Medical reasons, we have x-rays. Yes, we have software. Okay, MRIs and many, many equipments used for medical reasons nowadays. And now they can easily process information. They can easily detect some problems inside our bodies because of innovation. Yeah? And many, many more. Commercial reasons for businesses, advertisements. Yeah? Social reasons. And many, many more. And still we are just starting. More to come when it comes to technology and innovation. iPhone keeps on updating every time. I don't know until when, maybe until iPhone 100. Now we have 12, 13 is coming. Okay? Because of what? Innovation. They keep on implementing their ideas to produce something new. Right? So innovation involves the utilization. That means use of ideas in solving problems. Of course, the main target is to solve people's problems, develop processes, and we improve the way we do things. Yeah, before we were just using Nokia, and that time we were not using internet. We were just using this for calling and sending SMS. Now we have iPhone, Samsung, Huawei. We can easily communicate. We can have video conferencing. We can attend classes. So we improve the way we do things because of creativity and innovation. Now you are sitting there, or maybe you are lying on your bed. You can attend my class. That's the power of what? Innovation. We created new products, new services, and even organizations because of creativity and innovation. So I think we don't have time. We will be talking about this later. Okay. We will be talking about this, then CPS, and we will be looking at some techniques how to solve problems creatively, and we're going to have the mind map. Because in the exam, I will ask you to do the mind mapping. Then after this, we will proceed to decision making, and then probabilities, permutations and combinations, then the last. So let's see our time. We still have May 9, 16, and we still have 3 weeks before your exam. And then we will have the revision. Exam will be 26, 27. Okay? So thank you for coming today. Did you learn something today?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, mister. Thank you for today's class.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, we had some problems today with the slides and connection. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.